Hey everyone, it's December 12th, and that means that if today's your birthday, you share it with Canadian serial killer Gilbert Paul Jordan, known as the Boozing Barber, who murdered 10 women beginning in the 1960s, and that is him right up there. Jordan was born in Vancouver in 1931 and became an alcoholic as a teenager, dropping out of school at the age of 16. He became a career criminal, and by the time he was 21, his resume included convictions of theft, assault, grand theft auto, and heroin possession. Jordan was an extreme alcoholic, drinking 50 ounces of vodka a day, and his greatest joy in life was getting drunk and having sex with his companions. By his account, he slept with over 200 women a year, mostly prostitutes or other alcoholics he found in dive bars across Vancouver. He earned his living by cutting hair, and in 1961 he was caught with a 5-year-old girl in his car for which he was charged with child abduction. The case was difficult for prosecutors to put together, so it ended without a trial or conviction. In 1963, he lured 2 women into his car with an offer of free booze, then sexually assaulted them and drove away with their belongings. He was charged with rape and theft, but was only convicted of the theft. Things soon escalated, and 2 years later he got together with a switchboard operator for a night of drinks. Her nude body was found in a motel room the next day with a blood alcohol level of 0.51. A person normally passes out at a level of 0.3, and 0.4 is considered a lethal dose. Her death was ruled accidental, and it took 22 years to learn the truth, that Jordan had gotten her drunk to the point of passing out, at which time he continued to pour alcohol down her throat until she died. He wound up behind bars shortly after the incident, but it was for drunk driving, for which he racked up conviction after conviction over the next 2 decades. In 1969, he was even caught driving under the influence twice on the same day. He also picked up charges over the years for committing an indecent act in a public place, indecent exposure, and indecent assault, for which he received 2 years in prison in 1974. He was released early in 1975, after which he abducted a woman from a mental hospital and ended up convicted of kidnapping and intercourse with a feeble-minded person, being sentenced to 2 years in prison. In 1982, he committed his second murder, pouring alcohol down the throat of a woman he was drinking with in his barbershop. He then killed 2 more women the same way over the next few years, but their deaths were all deemed accidents at the time. In 1987, he spent the night with a woman who was found dead the next day with a blood alcohol level of 0.91, more than double the lethal dose. While this victim was a known prostitute, she wasn't someone who had an alcohol problem, so police finally took notice. Jordan was placed under observation, and over the next 11 days, he took 4 women to hotels for drinking binges, but police intervened and stopped them from becoming fatal. After his arrest, investigators tied him to 10 deaths, but he was only convicted of 1, being sentenced to 15 years for manslaughter. With good behavior, he just ended up serving 6 years in prison. After his release, he immediately violated his parole, being arrested drunk in Manitoba, and spent the rest of his life in and out of prison for parole violations, dying in 2006. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. Go have a great drink tonight. If you know someone whose birthday it is today, send them this video so I can find out all about their birthday twin. And to Gilbert Paul Jordan, I say, happy birthday, you bastard.